Alrighty, guys, I'm Morthadon, and we are back for Boruto episode 69. Oh, sorry. Anyways, uh, yeah, last episode was a very cringy one. We're in the middle of a very cringy mini arc going on with Chocho's obsession with this actor guy and some like Rain Village ninja trying to kill them, and we don't know what that's about, and the actor is somehow reciprocating his feelings, kind of, but also being a jerk about it, kind of. And, well, not kind of, he very much is a jerk after last episode. I have a hair in my mouth. I got it. Okay. But, yeah. Such a weird arc going on. And since this episode's called 69 and this is the conclusion to the arc, it worries me! No, I'm just kidding. They wouldn't do anything like that. Anyways, guys, yeah. Discussions for these episodes haven't been very long because there's just not a whole lot to talk about with them, but we'll see what happens after this one. So let's jump into it, shall we? Alrighty, so like normal, there's going to be a Vimeo link down in the description. You guys can click that. It'll bring you directly to the reaction. And then once you're done watching that, you can come back here to this video right after I'm done talking for the discussion, where I'll talk about whatever happens in the episode and any predictions I have and all that good stuff. So go ahead and click that link right now, guys. Alrighty, guys, so that is the end of episode 69. So, I was saying it during the end credits, but I'll say it again because I don't keep those end credits in the YouTube version. It's only the full length. So, this episode was better than the last one. Obviously, still continuing the same arc, so the whole arc is a little weird. I will say this, they definitely made it way more apparent in this episode, but looking back, I can see what they were getting at with the other episodes now, too. It's kind of a good message for kids, in a way, where, like, and I guess maybe some adults, too, but I feel like any adult that made it to this point in their life, acting this way wouldn't, like, change suddenly, you know? But I think it's a great message for kids in that, you know, what matters is what's on the inside, which is, I mean, very much true. We definitely live in a society where your external appearance will dictate how people initially judge you, but you shouldn't let your life be run off of, you know, how people initially view you, you know? Like, I'm a big dude. Like, I know that, you know, people see me as, like, a fat guy and everything, and, you know, like, I'm sure that's not attractive for a lot of women and stuff like that, and all that, but, you know, I always just try to be myself and figure eventually the right person will come, you know, that kind of stuff, so, I don't try to, like, hide myself or change myself whenever I meet people, you know, I try to be myself. I think we talked about this in another episode. I can't remember if it's this show or another show or where it was, but pretty sure we talked about, like, the hiding your true self and stuff like that. It never works out. But it might not have been this show. Anyways, regardless, it's definitely a good message, you know, just be yourself, don't worry about what other people think of you. That's how I live my life usually, so anyways, it kind of stinks that Ashina ended up being the person behind all this. Because, I mean, I wasn't really looking for a big conspiracy, so maybe that's why I didn't think of it. But they took me by surprise. I honestly, like, didn't really see it coming, but I was just, like, I was so out of the story elements because of, like, the cringe and weirdness. I was just, like, letting the story tell me what was going on instead of theorizing. So I had no idea. I was actually surprised when Ashina ended up being behind it all. But she was, like, the one person that was kind of growing on me because she's just, like, this actress trying to, you know, do her career, and she's kind of being objectified as being, like, the heroine that needs saving, and the main guy character is all that matters, and she's just there to make him shine brighter, essentially. And I kind of started to feel for her a bit, and then he ended up being a jerk, which made me like Ashina even more in comparison, so, and then she ended up being the bad guy, so I was like, great, this three episode arc, I didn't like anybody in the whole thing, so, I don't know, it was just kind of silly, but yeah, I don't know what I was gonna say. We didn't even get to see the capture of the guy. We didn't even get to see like that much of a good fight. We got to see them use a few little tricks to do the rescuing with the rocks and everything, which is pretty cool. But essentially, this three-parter is just like, if I want to look at it from a meta perspective, I have something in my eye. If I want to look at it from a meta perspective, I could say that these 3 episodes weren't heavily animated, so I assume that we could look at this as a break from doing like the really good episodes as a way for them to kind of recoup after the last one, because one of you guys in the comments was telling me that it took like a team of like, shoot, I have such a bad memory, I don't know, like 20 animators or something like that were needed to do that last episode, or that one of those episodes, or maybe the last 2 episodes or something. But the one with the big fight, I think that was 65 or 64. I think it was 65. But either way, I was told it took like a lot of work and a lot of like people and everything, a lot of commitment and all that, so I can understand needing these 3 episodes as kind of like a cooldown period. So, and as much as I'm sure my, views on these 3 episodes won't be as good, because I'm sure people are just like, well, I know those episodes are, that really annoying 3 arc, but either way, I'm still kind of glad that I did a reaction to it, just because I don't know, it was just like, there were some funny moments, like, I found it really funny, this scene where she was talking crap about the actor guy, and then while he's just climbing down the mountain, it pans to him, and he's just like, were you talking about me? And she's just like, shut up! That was so funny. I love, like, little humor moments like that, and he's like, I don't know if he just couldn't quite hear what she was saying, or if he's just so stupid that he couldn't piece it together, but that was funny. But yeah. So I guess, like, it zoomed in on, shoot, what's his name? The sensei. Crap, Konohamaru. It zoomed in on Konohamaru after the guy jumped over the fence, I think, and then he wasn't with them, so I think he was off capturing the guy by himself, I guess? Because that all happened off camera, and then they came up with the plan when they said he was going to talk to Lord Seventh to do that whole, like, switch the person, because they must have suspected Ashina and all that. But also, I want to point out that these shinobi have access to transformation jutsus to transform into anybody they want, right? So why in the hell did he need to have, like, an actual mask that he pulled off his face? Why didn't he just use the transformation jutsu? I don't understand. Why? Oh, it's so weird. It's kind of something that I just thought about, but I was, like, picturing that scene again when Konohamaru revealed himself, and he actually pulled off, like, a whole, like, little, like, leather or whatever, like, made out of whatever material, like, Halloween mask kind of thing, and I don't know, it's so funny to me, because I have no idea why he would need to do that, but when they have transformation jutsus, but I don't know. And she didn't seem like she was a shinobi. Like, she had the paper bombs, but I assume anybody can do that? Like, I don't know if she was a shinobi, like, cause she had a headband, but it was for the movie. I'm pretty sure that was part of her outfit for the show. I don't know if she's an actual shinobi. So, like, I was gonna say maybe she'd be able to recognize the transformation, you know? But, I don't know. Silly, silly stuff. But, anyways. Trying to think, is there anything else in this episode that I really wanted to talk about? I like the Mitsuki stuff. We had Mitsuki coming in, and he's kind of been like the. It's weird. He's like quiet and just looking around with like a lot of the scenes we see. He's just like staring or glaring or, doing faces. Every now and then he makes these like one off little statements, but it was kind of cool seeing him being the one to come in and talk to Chocho. And she was even like, why'd it have to be him? So it's interesting. Like, I don't know. And then when he was eating the chips and talking to Orochimaru, I don't understand why Orochimaru worded it. Maybe it was the translation, or maybe I'm just reading it wrong. But when Orochimaru walked in, he's like, "What made you decide to eat?" or something like that along those lines, and it's like, is it that weird for him to be eating unless he normally doesn't eat? Like, I know he's some, like, fabricated clone, but I figured his human body, or his body would work sort of like a human's, So, either he just doesn't have to eat, so Orochimaru was like, why'd you decide to eat? What change in your, mental state brought this on? And, unless it's just, like, Orochimaru being really weird and having, like, a weird way to trigger a conversation and being, like, kind of awkward, but... or, I don't know. Either way, kind of cool. Mitsuki always has, like, the really, like, inspirational stuff. It's like, because he always stays out of it and he never gets, like, angry and stuff. Like, when people start, like, yelling and raising their voice and stuff like that, I think it makes people be not as, they won't open up as much to them, so it's kind of like they close themselves off to all these other people, but someone that can remain calm and say how they feel without any kind of, real emotion being put into it. Sometimes that's like the most relatable and the most understanding kind of person that you can talk to sometimes. So it's kind of cool that he has kind of become that for the show. He does that for a lot of scenes as well, so interesting. But anyways, I guess we're done with this 3-part arc, so I look forward to whatever kind of story we get into next. I wonder if we're going to get into an actual arc next, or if we're going to have a few more filler episodes, but that just aren't connected to these last 3, but I guess I'm looking forward to whatever is going to be coming next for Boruto, but I think that concludes everything I'm really going to say. Once again, this is kind of a shorter discussion than most of my shows, but yeah, I'm sure you guys know why. Anyways, yeah, guys, so if you enjoyed, you can hit that subscribe button to support the channel. You can also go into the description where there's a Patreon link where you can get access to early access content as well as full-length content if you become a patron, and it supports me, and I very much appreciate it and all that, and yeah, so hopefully you guys enjoyed this reaction, and I will be seeing you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.